Hello and welcome. This is Kyle Grossmiller from Pure Storage, and in today's demo video, we're going to walk you through how to set up Elastic VMware Service with Pure Cloud Block Store for iSCSI. To start off, we assume that you've deployed EVS and that you've deployed Cloud Block Store. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go into our Elastic VMware Service console. We'll go to our environment, and then we'll find an expansion VLAN. So you provide this when you deploy EVS, and this is set up for you. We're going to make note of not only the VLAN ID, but also the CIDR block as highlighted here. Next, we'll go into our EVS vCenter instance, and we're going to create a couple of distributed port groups. We're going to name one of them iSCSI port group 1. And we're going to give it that VLAN number that we identified from the EVS console. So in this case, it was 90. And then we will create a second iSCSI distributed port group. This is because we want to use port binding for this implementation. And we'll repeat the process here, give it VLAN ID 90, and click Next. Now, in order for port binding to work, we do have to do one further setup step here in the settings, which is essentially moving one of the uplinks to unused. So we keep uplink 1 is used, uplink 2 is unused in port group 1, and then in port group 2, we're going to reverse that. So we're putting uplink 1 as an unused adapter. iSCSI port binding doesn't work if you don't do this. The next step is we're going to actually add VM kernel adapters for each port group to each EVS ESXi host. So we're going to, again, from that CIDR block that we saw from that expansion VLAN, we'll grab a couple of IP addresses, or I should say 4 IP addresses per port group, and then we'll autofill this out below. Then we'll select the expansion VLAN gateway for our VM kernel gateway here to make sure that the traffic routes properly. We'll then just repeat that same step, obviously picking different expansion VLAN IP addresses for our VM kernel ports. Okay, with this complete, we'll go check on our EVS ESXi host, make sure that those VM kernel adapters are appearing as we expect, and they are. So the next step is that we're going to go ahead and enable our software iSCSI adapter on this EVS ESXi host. This is an example. I'm only going to do this once, but you'll have to repeat this process for every ESXi host. So now that software iSCSI has been enabled, we're going to grab the iSCSI IQN name, and we're going to populate this on our Cloud Block Store instance. Now, on-premises users of the VMware plugin, this is automated. This is an issue that we found that we're actually in the process of fixing right now. So for now, this is a manual process. This will be fixed in a subsequent Purity release. But essentially, we're creating an ESXi host, giving it the ESXi personality, and then we're pasting in the IQN for each ESXi host. And as I mentioned, repeat this process for the other 3 hosts. Once that has been completed, we create a host group on Pure Cloud Block Store, add all the hosts to this host group, and we're ready to go. So now that we've got this host group created, we can go over to advanced options, and we're going to establish a few iSCSI best practices. Disable delayed awk. We're going to set our login timer value to 30, and then we're going to set some max burst amounts for better performance, as we can see here. And again, once we select this and click yes, we will repeat this on all hosts. Good news is you only have to do it once. The next step is we'll go to the Pure Storage Cloud Block Store array. One thing you'll want to check and confirm is that your MTU is set to 8500. That is what Elastic VMware Service is set to. In order to do that, open a support ticket to support@purestorage.com, and they will change it for you. Just give them the array name and the MTU size that you want to change it to. Next, we're establishing iSCSI port binding. As I mentioned earlier, this is why we had to set those uplinks as unused. And we repeat this again on all hosts. Next, we've deployed our Pure Storage vSphere plugin. This is the same one that you use on premises. We've added our Cloud Block Store array to this already. That's just simply a matter of giving it the management VIP and then your pure user or whatever credential you want. Then we deploy it and register it as you normally would against this vCenter instance. From there, we'll configure iSCSI. We'll select our array. This will add dynamic and static iSCSI IP address targets. We can check those here by going back to the iSCSI adapter. We can see those are our iSCSI IP addresses from the array that we were showing earlier. So this is ready to go. Now we go down back to Pure Storage. We create our data store, and now we can create a VMFS volume via the Pure Storage vSphere plugin. We'll just give this one EBS VMFS, make it 20 terabytes in size. We'll connect it up to this host group. This is our array that we want, our CBS array that we want to utilize. You can optionally add it to the default protection group. This is also known as safe mode. Select the QoS that you want, and then it will provision the volume. This takes a couple minutes to deploy. Now we can see our EVS volume is here. And now we can just start to do normal on-premises vSphere types of activities inside of EVS. In this case, we'll take our Pure Storage vSphere plugin and we'll just storage vMotion it over to our CBS array. So we look at tasks, we can see it's being moved over. We can actually look at the CBS array GUI and see it being moved over as well. We can see some writes hitting the array. And then after a few minutes, the storage vMotion will be completed. And then we can actually look at our volume for the plugin, and we can see it's been successfully moved to CBS. Thank you for watching. We've got a QR code here with a lot more info about this integration, how-to articles, all that fun stuff. We'll see you on the next one. Thanks again for watching.